Are you worried about what your financial situation will look like in a year or even in a few months from now? With all the concerns about economic growth, it's understandable to be worried about a possible recession. But how can you make a profit and survive in a recession? How to pull a reverse Uno card on financial harrows and come out victorious? Well, let's find out. What is recession? Economists use the word recession to describe a period of time when economic activity drops sharply. While recessions can last for a few months to a few years, the drop in a country's gross domestic product, which is a broad measure of its economic output, shows how bad the recession is. An economic slowdown can be caused by or made worse by many things, such as financial crises and bank failures, problems in the supply chain, rising prices, and higher interest rates. When there is a recession, unemployment can go up, the stock market can go down, economic activity can slow down, and people may start spending less. How can you protect your finances in a recession? It doesn't matter if you're an investor, a business owner, or a worker. A recession can hurt your pay and standard of living. But how can you overcome this? You must take the following steps. Number 1. Safeguard your earning sources. If you lose your job, you may need to use your savings to look for new work. So first, you need to make sure you have a job. And if you own a business, you need to make sure it will grow in the future. You also need to be careful about your job role and your employer's financial stability. If you have any doubts, you should quit your job and look for another one in the same field. You can also change your profile by enrolling in a field with more opportunities. Along with your main job, you can also start small side businesses or gigs to make extra money. Now, I know it might sound laborious to switch jobs or even develop a few streams of income, but ultimately, it'll be a huge win for you. Number 2. Enhance savings. A lot of people put money into savings accounts when the economy isn't bad, so they'll be ready when the bad times come. When there is a recession, having an emergency fund can help you get by without having to sell everything you own to get cash. A lot of financial experts say that you should save enough money to cover your living costs for 3 to 6 months. You need to save a big chunk of your monthly income in order to get through the tough times of the recession. To do this, make a list of all the money you spend on things like rent, car payments, insurance, and even small things like food. You add up all of these costs at the end of the month and see if there's anything that can be cut from the list. To put it another way, this list will show you the money that was spent and also show you what purchases were pointless. This will help you to save more money. Number 3. Learn new skills. The job market can get worse during a recession, which can cause people to lose their jobs in many fields. Aside from money, one of the best things you can invest in during a recession is yourself. Not only does learning new skills help you grow as a person, it can also help you make more money and be more profitable. When the economy is bad, industries may change and new needs may arise, causing a need for people with a wide range of skills. Whether you want to change careers by learning digital marketing or code to take advantage of the growing tech industry, spending money on schooling and skill development can pay off in the long run. To stay useful in a changing job market, take advantage of online training, workshops, and self-study materials. Not only this, try to minutely search for talents or pre-existing skills and polish them accordingly to ace this wallet-denting period. Number 4. Talk to a financial expert. During economic downturns, it can be hard to handle your money. A financial expert can give you great advice and help you come up with the best ways to make money. With their knowledge, these experts can look at your finances, find chances, and suggest custom ways for you to handle the storm. Their advice can help you make smart choices when things are uncertain, whether you're making a plan to handle risk, reorganizing your investments, or looking into new ways to make money. Financial experts keep up with the changes in the market and in the rules that govern it. They can help you take advantage of new opportunities by giving you advice at the right time. Number 5. Generate passive income. When the economy is bad, another way for people to make money is to find passive income sources, like dividends, interest, and rental income from things, space, or property that aren't being used. You can choose the tools that will help you make money through passive trading and pay your bills. This would free you up from having to work during the day and make you more financially independent. On top of that, it will let you follow your dream job no matter how much it pays. You no longer have to pay for disability and life insurance. Number 6. Start a business. It might not make sense to start a business during a recession, but people who are creative and flexible can make a lot of money doing it. As customer tastes and needs change during recession, gaps in the market often appear. You can find a niche and take advantage of untapped possibilities by starting a business that meets these new needs. Recessions also make it easier to start a business by lowering entry hurdles, such as lower competition and lower overhead costs. Starting your own business, whether it's an online store, a consulting company, or a service-based business, gives you control over your finances and the chance to do well even when the economy is bad. Starting a business can be a way to make money during recession if you do it with careful planning, strategic positioning, and a desire to try new things. So, how do investors handle recessions? There are different ways investors handle their investment accounts during a recession. Some of the most common ways that investors try to keep their losses to a minimum when the economy is bad include the following ways. Consumer staples. Consumer staples are important goods and services that people continue to pay for even during recessions. Consumer staples can weather economic downturns more than non-essential and discretionary goods and services. Investing in companies that make basic goods during slow economic times can make you profits that will last through the recession. Sure, it won't make your bank balance grow exponentially, but it can easily be a straw for a drowning man in a recession. Bonds. When government, businesses, and state agencies need to raise money, they sell bonds, which are investments with a set income. When someone buys a bond, they are lending money to the seller and expect to get money back in the form of interest payments. Most bonds have a set rate of interest that they pay until they mature. When they do, the issuer has to return the investor's original investment, which is called the principal. Most of the time, a short-term bond is one that matures in 4 years or less. Bonds that mature in 4 to 10 years are called medium or intermediate term bonds. Bonds that mature in more than 10 years are called long-term bonds. A U.S. Treasury bond with 30 years left to run is a popular long-term instrument. Even though bonds' values and returns can change with the economy, there are long-term investments that usually do better than stocks when the economy slows down or goes into a recession. Bonds are a way for investors with smaller risk tolerance to spread out their money. Mutual funds. Mutual funds are professionally managed investment funds that pool money from many investors for purchasing securities and selling shares in the fund to the public on stock exchanges. Mutual funds are a popular investment option. It's up to the managers of mutual funds to make sure that the financial portfolio has a mix of stocks, bonds, and other securities. During recession, some people turn to mutual funds because they're professionally managed and have a lot of different investments. There are many different methods that mutual funds use to help their investors reach their goals. During recessions or economic downturns, a lot of investors put their money into funds that focus on consumer staples or large-cap companies, and that is companies with a stock market value of $10 billion or more, which tend to give more stable yields than small-cap companies. Dividend stocks. During recessions, the stock market usually goes down, but buyers can lessen their losses by buying stock in companies that pay good dividends. Dividend companies pay approved shareholders every 3 months with cash from their retained earnings. The board of directors of a company decides when and how much of a profit to pay out. If you compare the amount paid as a portion of the current share price once a year, you get the dividend yield. If a company's shares are worth $40 each and the board chooses to pay a 25-cent dividend on each share every 3 months, that's $1 a year. This means that the yield is 2.5%. That is, the return is found by dividing the total amount of dividends paid in a year by the price of the shares. Even during recessions, dividend stocks can give buyers cash payouts even though dividends aren't guaranteed. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments on how you're planning to keep your boat sailing during these tough times. Remember to stay informed, stay proactive, and stay positive. Together, we can navigate recessions and emerge stronger on the other side. Until next time, take care.